On May the 2nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, boxing will see the continuing journey of one of its brightest stars.
Navi Benavidez!
The Mexican monster, David Benavidez, is currently at the heights of his powers. Having a record of 31 victories and no defeats, the Arizona-born native had spread a reign of terror throughout the super middleweight division. And with him recently capturing the WBC light heavyweight world title, he was hoping to face the division's two superior fighters. However, on this occasion, he steps up as the challenger to face a champion of a newer division.
Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez!
And with the WBA and WBO title currently in his possession, he stands in the way of Benavidez's ambitions to become a three-weight world champion. In anticipation of another premier event within the sport, Navi Boxing takes a quick look at this encounter and breaks down key elements that could propel both champions to a commanding victory. For Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, facing perhaps his toughest challenge, he looks to silence his rival's ambitions and obtain the biggest victory of his fighting career. In the case of David Benavidez, considered to be amongst the sport's most dangerous fighter, he once again chases career greatness to become the unified cruiserweight champion. Welcome to a David Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez fight countdown. To understand the significance of this matchup, there's no better way to begin than by recounting the exploits of the man who's widely considered to be the sport's most exciting fighter. Currently standing as the premier name within boxing, he boasts a status that's not without merit. A 6-foot demolition machine from Phoenix, Arizona, he enters 2026 with a record of 31 victories and no defeats. Holding 25 of those victories by way of knockout, Benavidez has ran through his opponents in impressive fashion. Possessing a wide range of offense as well as a highly durable engine, he has shown why the other fighters have chosen to sway him.
They would love to see me with all the big guys because, as you can see, I love throwing punches, I love stopping people, so me against all the big names would be an amazing fight.
A brutal campaign at super middleweight which saw him become a two-time world champion, Benavidez was craving an opportunity to challenge the division's kingpin, Canelo Alvarez. Despite being the mandatory challenger, Canelo's unwillingness to face Benavidez saw him move up to the light heavyweight division. And with this new weight class boasting two stellar champions, hailing from the Russian school of boxing, David Benavidez's mindset of consistently facing the toughest challenges available had the boxing spectators on the edge of their seats.
He's a top dog, and just the way he took Joe Smith apart was amazing. I think that I would have to get a couple fights before I get a fight with him, you know what I mean? Because he's the top dog. I got to show respect where respect is due, you know what I mean? So it'll be a great fight.
With Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol already sharing a victory each between two fights, negotiations for a third encounter were still underway. In the meantime, Benavidez would make his light heavyweight debut in typical fashion. Displaying blistering hand speed and in-ring ferocity, the American would display the necessary skill set for a potential victory over both Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. For all the praise and affection received in such a prominent role, comes also the duty of fending off various threats posed by a never-ending line of hungry competitors. One such threat has emerged from an unexpected foe. Hailing from the scorching hardships of Sinaloa, Mexico, he looks to capture the same levels of admiration that are presently enjoyed by David Benavidez.
I love his style, but, he's facing a big guy. He's facing a guy who has a lot of experience, a guy who's hungry, a guy who's fresh and young.
On paper, he lacks the elite-level experience required for such a significant showdown, but in a fight that will involve two combatants of Mexican origin, the prideful machismo ensures a monumental upset could become a possibility.
He's a big puncher, he's a strong fighter, he's a pressure fighter, he's a southpaw. It's the perfect opportunity against a wonderful, amazing fighter.
And despite vast amounts of success against various foes, the converging paths have now set the stage for a collision where more is at stake than just money and championship belts.
I believe that this fight is going to be all about who's determined, but who is disciplined throughout the fight, if it does last 12 rounds.
Within combat sports, no stage has commanded the spotlight like professional boxing. Amongst the universal spectacle that sees fighters propel themselves towards eternal glory, the notion of being crowned the mightiest of combatants within the world has led to the production of numerous world champions within its illustrious history. And despite the cruiserweight division being amongst the final categories introduced, the colossal champions crowned since have paved the way for its credibility within its 45-year history. For David Benavidez, hailing from Phoenix, Arizona, he is of Mexican and Ecuadorian descent. Introduced to boxing at the tender age of 3, he would go on to have only 15 amateur contests. Benavidez's amateur career was severely limited due to his constant weight gain. Peaking at 250 pounds at just 13 years of age, the lack of opponents available would see him focus on the pro ranks instead.
Before I even knew that I wanted to be a boxer, my dad had already put me in boxing. I think we started in our garage. I was 2 years old, and I just basically mimicked my brother and tried to do everything he would do. And then as time went on, I started falling in love with the sport of boxing.
Inspired by his elder brother, Jose Benavidez Jr., his father would decide to train the younger Benavidez. Turning professional at 16, David Benavidez would score thrilling knockouts early on.
When I was younger, I was the fatter kid, and I wasn't really the fastest, so I had to go in there and actually earn my respect. Literally, I had to go and take it from them. Everybody would laugh at me, but when I'd get in the gym and I'd beat that ass, nobody would laugh at me ever again.
Facing a disadvantage due to his lack of amateur experience, he would go on to become a sparring partner of middleweight champions Kelly Pavlik and Gennady Golovkin.
Keep on, this kid. He'll be top dog. He'll be champ. Mark my words. Thank you.
Hailed as a potential great, his all-out aggressive style and willingness to brawl was noticed by the boxing spectators. In the case of Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, the reigning unified WBA and WBO cruiserweight world champion, his journey to the sport would begin within Mazatlan, Mexico. Beginning boxing at the age of 12, a brief amateur career would see him turn pro at 18 years old. Typical for boxers who come from impoverished backgrounds, he would choose boxing as a way to escape poverty.
Your neighborhood was kill or be killed?
Yeah, kill or be killed, yeah. That's the law on the neighborhood.
At 14, what did you think you were going to be? A gangster or what?
I wish to be a gangster, something, a hitman, killer. That was danger. All the time you see fighting or kill him, or one guy fighting with the machete and another with the knife, and that was a normal.
A stylish southpaw, his aggressive style saw him score consistent knockouts throughout his early career. Hailed as potential world champion, Zurdo looked to emulate Mexican greats who came before him and etch his name amongst the sport's best.
I believe that Zurdo, the fact that he is not only hungry, not only determined, not only waiting for this opportunity, but he has the skill set, he has the height, he has the punch, he has the speed, he has the punch output, which is going to be very important. You have to seize the moment. When you're inside that ring, it's only two fighters, two warriors. Whoever wants it more, but more importantly, whoever's prepared.
In a journey spanning over 3 decades and a combined record of 79 professional bouts, 2 distinguished and recognized champions will step into the ring for career supremacy, and in a bout where its outcome could cause much career implications, a resounding victory for either combatant would be paramount. Within combat sports, the style of fighting of a fighter is uniquely embedded within them. Determining how they fight, it's the techniques honed alongside their methods of training that help shape their fighting career. For both David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez, their style of fighting is unique to them. And with the old adage, styles make fights, we take a look at the styles of both champions heading into their showdown. Known for relentless pressure and blistering combination punching, David Benavidez is currently regarded as one of the sport's most dangerous and dominant fighters. Standing firmly at 6 foot, he towers over most of his opponents. And whether he chooses to come forward or boxes on the back foot, his sniper-like jab sets up his fiery combinations. And despite his ability to outbox his opponents comfortably to a decision, the preferred style of brawling has saw him finish his bouts in a more thrilling manner. Although he hasn't displayed the ability to finish a bout with one punch, David Benavidez instead overwhelms the opposition, For Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, his style of fighting is suited best to him. A stylish southpaw, Ramirez's style can be hard to deal with. Constantly applying a flickering jab, he sets up his opponents for his sharp counterpunches. And although he possesses a significant height and reach advantage, his Mexican style of fighting sees him engage at close range more often. Known to be a slow starter, he makes up for this by overwhelming his opponents in the later rounds. An effective counterpuncher, his effectiveness on both the front and back foot keeps his opponents weary throughout his bouts. Handed a career-defining opportunity against David Benavidez, Zurdo Ramirez will try to apply the necessary tactics earned to limit Benavidez's in-ring ferocity.
I think Zurdo Ramirez, the fact that he has the size, the power, the southpaw, the hunger, the desire, the motivation, I think it's an even fight. Both fighters have everything to win, everything to lose, and whoever wants it more, whoever's in better shape, mentally, physically, the night of the fight is going to win.
Despite crossover gimmick fights constantly taking place, it's these types of fights that continue to generate the viewership. A clear contrast of styles, it would see 2026 host another monumental encounter. Within combat sports, the punch resistance is an important element for a fighter. It's the ability or capacity to endure blows to either the head or body without being knocked out or severely incapacitated. Despite being aggressive power punchers, both David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez have found themselves in vulnerable positions. For David Benavidez, known for his all-out aggressiveness, his ability to set a high pace to which his opponents are unable to keep up has led him to become a two-weight world champion. Despite this, his overeagerness has saw him at times lunging and off balance throughout his bouts. Normally having the size and reach advantage over his opponents has allowed him to absorb punches with ease. With Benavidez once again moving to a newer weight division, his lack of size advantage will mean he would have to tread with caution, as his lack of adaptation to a higher weight could cause him a disadvantage. In the case of Gilberto Ramirez, known for his ability to take a punch, his in-ring toughness has saw him battle his way to many victories. Despite his tall stature, the style of fighting at a close distance often has allowed him to develop his sharp counter-punching ability whilst being defensively responsible, suffering only one career defeat to Dimitri Bivol. His struggles with weight were cited as a reason for his loss. Moving up to cruiserweight has saw Ramirez fill to his natural size, allowing him to comfortably compete alongside bigger and stronger fighters. And with Benavidez used to outsizing his opponents, in Zurdo Ramirez, he faces someone whose size and ability to absorb punishment could overwhelm him on fight night. And with a long history of both combatants being sparring partners, the experience gained within them training camps will provide ample insight towards how a victory could be obtained. As is the case with power punchers, the belief their power can end a fight at a moment's notice could also work against them due to their over-reliance. With a habit of being over-aggressive, a lack of concentration and overconfidence could lead to a potential knockdown. And in a fight that could cause much career changes, a dominating victory would be paramount for both combatants.
Both fighters have everything to win, everything to lose, and whoever wants it more, whoever's in better shape, mentally, physically, the night of the fight is going to win.
A highly anticipated encounter, it would see two of the sport's top fighters face off for career supremacy. And in an era where fighters look to swerve dangerous opponents, both David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez have displayed a throwback mindset of facing the best. Displaying both brilliance and brutality, the boxing spectators should expect a titanic thriller. On May the 2nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, we'll see both fighters square off for the Unified Cruiserweight Championship. With the well-known stylistic traits of both combatants, it's hard to imagine this bout going the distance. For David Benavidez, the reigning WBC light heavyweight champion, already considered to be amongst the sport's finest, he looks to continue his devastating destruction and become a three-weight world champion. For Zurdo Ramirez, the current WBA and WBO cruiserweight world champion, eager to prove his reign is relevant, he looks to shock the doubters with a stunning upset victory and place a halt on Benavidez's ambitions.